jump. So it's looking like a better draft from Cloud9, but still the lanes into early game is favoring Falcons on the speed in which they can bring.
So C9 have something nice going for them, is that Mars, as an offlaner, doesn't build an early pipe the way that Broodmother did last game. So, and you look at the supports in Ench and Snap, they do build auras and they will correct for that, but it's going to come out a little bit later, making it so that if Sand King has a good game, the epicenter is going to go a long way early game in terms of damage.
I want Cloud9 to go for Underlord and have Sand King mid. I think getting the global map play, like the hook shot from the Clockwork, then you have the Fiend's Gate, and it just got banned out, so that's not going to happen.
Their hero pool is so small. DM, in terms of heroes that he has played so far 5 different heroes, so they're going to give him the Sand King and put Earth Spirit in the mid lane. We've saw quite a lot of Earth Spirit, especially when 7E played it. He was the one who kind of brought it, one of his Siggies. So now with the DK, I think you put this DK in the safe lane and put something for Malrine in the mid lane.
No one has to be very active in this game. I want to see him try and break the side lanes. If you go to a Luna lane, there's potential for kill. If you go to the Sand King lane, there's a potential to help him accelerate his time into the Blink Dagger to then also play on the map with Earth Spirit. So it's a bold Earth Spirit pick. Again, I think I preferred the mid Sand King here and a different offlaner, but if no one called for it, give it to him, but please be aggressive. Try and just dictate the early game, unlike what Falcons did in the last game.
It's actually a great Earth Spirit game. Like, if I'm looking at these heroes on Falcons, this is a very comfortable mid Earth Spirit, because not only is it going to be the vessel buyer for the heal reduction on DK or Enchantress, it's also very comfortable here building Eternal Shroud. The Eternal Shroud will negate most of Falcon's damage in the early game, and it's backline jump for the Snapfire plus Enchantress. What Earth Spirit suffers against is unkillable cores, but like I mentioned, the early auras are not coming out from the Mars. If the Mars was something like a Kunkka instead, it would be a bad Earth Spirit game, but Earth Spirit's damage is not going to be mitigated here.
I want to see something elusive for Falcons. Puck, maybe even Storm, an extra jump, early jump that can jump on top of Wyvern, just so that you have a follow-up with the DK. We saw Skeeter going for a Blink Dagger earlier, because you want to have that extra follow-up. Okay, the big boys coming out.
Whew. How do we feel about Timbersaw in the mid lane here?
You know how I said I want no one to be active? This Timbersaw will force him to be active. Because when you get some levels, level 6 on Timber, it's like, all right, Earth Spirit, if you want to come here, you can be half HP, and yeah, I like it. It gives a lot of pace for Falcons to play behind. It also means that Amar doesn't have to be the one starting with Arena. Timbersaw can walk into these areas, soak up some initiation, and then allow the opportunity for other heroes to jump in after him.
There is no damage to kill this Timbersaw. Earth Spirit does damage over time, over many stones dropped into magnetizes. Wyvern does damage through right clicks. Luna needs time to farm up. You need to wait for the Sand King epicenter. This Timbersaw is completely unthreatened in terms of dying in the early game. It is a horrific last pick here from Falcons.
The most Falcons-looking draft of the tournament, I would say. This is their, bread and butter, as we like to call it. DK, Mars, Timbersaw, Enchantress, Snapfire for crit this time instead of maybe Hoodwink, but this feels even worse. I'd say the Cloud9, they did some of the adjustments that needed to be done for the second game, but Team Falcons, I would say even higher chances than in the previous one.
And Team Falcons with their 3 beefy boys and
yes.
2 high damage supports. Coming in hot, Cloud9, they obviously are looking to force out a third game to this best-of-3 series. If they're going to do it, who are you looking towards to really carry this team?
Early Vessel on the mid-Earth Spirit. Try and play on the fact that Falcons think they're tanky. If you can whittle them down a couple times, allow Watson to get to Silver Edge and Akanda, Satanic, like this type of stuff, then we'll have an explosive game. But if no one doesn't get to play the early game on his timings, then it could just be a 2-0.
We're going to see it play out here on the main stage here in the Royal Arena. Before we head to game number 2, though, we're first going to check in with Slacks, who is going to talk to Coach AUI 2000.
That's right, my friends. I'm here with AUI 2000. Team Falcons yet again. And AUI, so good to see you, my friend, back up on the stage. Now, you are a brave man. Some would say a Giga Chat indeed. You're going to let that Sand King, who, according to my notes, has not died in 2 weeks, I believe. No one has ever killed this hero once. You're giving the Katomi Wyvern. What's up with that? Are you good at your job? Why are you giving these things away?
Well, Sand King we played against in scrims, and we had a plan versus it. And then some of the other heroes, like this team's very unique. Like this Winter Wyvern, like early Enigma, like these heroes are sort of hard to deal with because you'll be going into it uncertain. So like you can give them an inva hero and have a strat versus them, which is what we're doing. It might not work, but for us it's like better. As for Wyvern, like you can't just ban stupid supports. They're just supports.
Stupid supports, my goodness gracious. All right. If you had to rate your draft on an A, B, C, D, F scale, how would you rate yourself?
I don't know. Like,
What do you mean?
it's good for us. But
Good.
like, I don't think it'll be good for other teams, but we're very comfortable in it. And I think like sometimes in a draft, Malrine just loses his mind and says, guys, auto win Timbersaw, Huskar, and like, you know, we just picked a hero. So,
You have that trust in them?
I mean, you have to. I don't know. It's just forced.
Well, do you trust that you will be winning this one game?
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh my, Owie, please! It's T.I. Just give me a let's go for the crowd. You never get hype about these things. Give me one let's go.
Let's go.
Good up for us. We'll see how it's about again, and let's get straight to the game with our commentators.
There we go, lovely day, Howie. Bring us some hype in here for the boys on Falcons in this game too. The question is for can Cloud9 do it? They had a rough game one. They've come into this game two. They switched things up. We're seeing things like the Luna come out. This hero, it's great.
About that. Yep.
This hero wins games. You know, so seeing Watson on Luna, that's something to be confident about. And I mean, the last pick, right? No one on the Earth Spirit. We know he can pop off on this hero.
He can. It can be a bit of a risky pick at times, but we'll see how much he's going to be able to make happen with it. But they do have the two big guns. The Sand King, the Luna, that's probably the big one that most people are looking at because these have been pretty dominant throughout this tournament. As you heard it there from AUI, they have a plan for it. And,
Okay.
You know, I'm looking at some of these things, you know, I was talking last game about that DK with the Mage Slayer. I think that's probably going to be something they look to at least address some of that magic damage that comes out, and probably just more mitigation. It's a big thing that Falcons does like to do when they see these type of things. And maybe some like distance heroes that can burst this Sand King and stuff. So no one, be careful, you ate a second chakra.
Yep. Malrine with the body blocks. Is he going to have enough burst with this next chakram to kill him?
Whirling Death, sorry.
Sorry with the Whirling Death. Yeah, you confused me. First blood indeed, Malrine. Oh, well, that's quite the way to start. Yeah, you talk about sort of a Falcons approach, or coming out already with the question marks. Nice and early this game.
I mean, he landed all of them. He landed literally 3 in a row onto him. You have to be very careful when you're playing these strength matchups, just because you get the double stat loss reduction. It's 12-second duration. Once you get hit by that second one, it's tremendous how much damage it does.
That's
Or Whirling Death. Using shock.
Whirling Death. Well, we'll see how that continues to go. But yeah, quite the start there from Marine getting that first blood. But yeah, talking about the strat that Falcons had against the Sand King, as sort of the panel touched upon, it seems like their strat is to just kind of do what they always do, right? You look at some of these hero tier levels that they've got on the heroes that they've managed to get through this draft, Falcons. It's pretty terrifying. You've got, 2 Grandmaster tier heroes, of course, with Mar on his Mars and Marine on his Timbersaw.
You heard it from panel, right? They said this is probably the most Falcons-looking draft. And you saw the last draft. It was a pretty Falcons-looking draft as well, too. They've got all their comfort. You heard, I mean, how he said it. Malrine asked for this hero. So, yeah, getting that kill right off the bat. No one actually got 4 CS on the first wave afterwards, but now it's Malrine is going to have
bottom
fantastic time. And Katomi.
He's looking pretty dead. Skeeter takes him out with the Breathe Fire.
This lane is not going to be easy.
Yeah, this is going to be a real true test for Cloud9. Can they beat Falcons when Falcons, they're absolutely in their element with this draft.
Yeah, and they have this Mars and the Snapfire also tough. So, I mean, looking across the board, all 3 lanes, they're super strong. They actually have probably an advantage across the board in these. The Luna lane is the one that maybe can be a bit more volatile, but it's a ton of burst damage between a Snap and a Mars to go for something like Luna that can suffer versus that. So we'll see if Fishman can deter them and protect Watson. He really needs this game.
And what do you think overall was the reason for the decision regarding where they put the Sand King, right? I think we heard from the panel, right? They kind of maybe wanted to see it stick to the mid lane, but making this alteration, is this just sort of down to preferences from no one, would you imagine?
Probably, I guess I would say. Maybe he feels like he could be more active or something with the Earth Spirit rather than the Sand King, because maybe Sand King takes like a little bit of time to get online. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Definitely interesting, because overall, I mean, the Sand King mid has been the one that's just been decimating. Especially yesterday, we saw Quinn. I mean, multiple players just not die on the hero, so an interesting approach.
CS so far, we can see a top lane. I mean, once again, as was the case last game, Amar having no struggles, getting complete free farm. And just, yes, down on the bottom lane, Skeeter having a bit of a slower start, but obviously countered by the fact that he did get that early kill. So he's not going to be too unhappy with the state of the lane down bottom, and they're able to hold it in good position, Falcons.
Katomi does get a pull off on the side there, so we'll at least be able to get good positioning for DM to get farm. And just keeping eyes on what creep snaking gets, that's kind of the big one to allow them to bully DM. Yeah, so far, not too bad for DM down here. It was starting a little weird. He had to bring a salve to reestablish the lane, but now getting that good CS.
Yeah, just this mid lane.
Mid lane's a problem.
It's going to be very difficult for no one to recover. We're seeing him starting to really fall behind in last hits, and that's just going to remain the situation. Very hard to sort of turn that mid one around, especially after that rough first blood. Top lane,
he's in trouble.
They're going to have him. Fishman and Watson able to run him down as Crit gets caught between the two of them.
Nicely done.
Of course, Watson's farm up here also looking pretty nice.
This is probably the best lane that I would say that they have going for them. The Sanking in the Wyvern lane can be a little bit volatile because it's versus this Enchantress, but the top one should go quite well. There's actually a rotation.
They're going to be able to get this easy kill onto Kataomi there. Straight away, making the call to make that play.
Oh, they just left the courier. Oh, okay. I guess they were more prioritizing onto going for the kill onto DM. They might just be able to have.
I mean, has he got, what sort of way has he got to play out of this? He's not really got a lot at all.
Second blood grenade.
He's going down. Falcons making these early rotations, getting these kills.
You were doing very well.
As all whilst this happens up and down the map, Maureen continues to have a very nice time in the mid. We're seeing, no one trying to drag some creep waves, trying to find a safer way to get some farm out of this early game.
That is the nicest thing that you can do on a lot of these mid laners, is just kind of dodge the matchup in a way. We used to see Maureen actually do this a lot when he'd play like a bad matchup on a Primal Beast or something like that. So no one should be able to keep that farm going. And overall for his game, if he can actually get onto some of these squishy supports, could do some explosive stuff. I think the big timing really is just going to be if he's going to be able to get a good Vessel. Because the Vessel is going to be crucial to pretty much kill any of these cores.
Fishman. Look at that catch onto Snaking, but the heals are coming out. See them try and bring the damage as well from Kataomi. Should have a solid chance of this. I mean, using the micro to throw the rocks back and hold Fishman away from them. They bring in the rotation of no one and... verifies there as well. Snaking, he's making them work for it. They're going to get him. But it takes a lot of time and a lot of resources.
At least no one gets the last hit. Maureen has hit 6, so has no one. Power Rune. They're on top of Crit. That's a nice move.
Okay, Cloud9. Getting these kills across the map where they make these movements with the two of them, and indeed, no one being a part of this. Getting this very crucial early involvement. Maureen cleaning up whatever stands next to him, really. I mean, so many of these heroes are going to be so vulnerable to the incredible amount of burst this Timber Saw is going to be doing throughout all stages of the game. It's got an amplified damage rune as well, ready to play with when he looks to go again on someone. So this Timber does remain pretty terrifying.
He's going to be a big problem. I actually potentially want to even see like these early moves, let's say from even Watson or something, to get a swing around. I think that's actually the best kill threat that they can have once they've got the Eclipse online and like Lucent Beam maxed up. That's probably their best early kill threat onto this Timber Saw. It's obviously not like something you want to like fully rotate out of, but if he sees an opportunity to get involved, that could be a way to slow down this Timber's early game.
They're going to try and go for DM. Maureen coming over, ready to bring in the damage if Skeeter can get the setup.
He got him.
And he's got the opening Dragon Tail. The Chakram's coming out with the amplified damage. It's a huge amount of burst. He'll burrow strike over towards the trees. Can he play his way out for this? Can he risk an attempted TP out? I don't think so. Maureen's in on top of him. Another round of the Chakram cuts him down. And Maureen continues to rule the map here as the Timber. Top lane, no one. Making a rotation of his own, looking for Amar. It's a good cookie attempt from Crit to try and get Amar back to safety. Giving him a little bit of a chance to retreat. Amar's going to look over towards the H. He's able to dodge the roll, look for the deny. He's not going to find it though, because no one is able to get the hit in to take him down. But this may just cost no one his life as Falcons turn up with the numbers. They'll look to punish and they'll successfully do so. And all 3 kills go to Maureen. Maureen's Timber. It's just getting so much out of this early game, folks.
It's devastating, and they don't really have damage early game, as we were mentioning, to kill him. He's not even going to go for any type of early protection. He's just going damage, going straight for Kaya. It's already explosive how much he's able to do, and it's just fast rotations, as we've seen. This is kind of the way that Falcons always play. Skeeter is not hesitant to get involved. He will go through these gates. He will TP to bring the action to any of these dives that any team will bring to them. And he's just going to immediately go back down bottom to be able to continue that pressure. And it's no deviation. I imagine it's going to be some type of Blink Mage Slayer. Same kind of style build from him. It just fits really nicely versus this Cloud9 lineup to be able to make those aggressive moves.
Yeah, and with his position right now, it's just the nature of the hero. It's just not something that Cloud9 are going to want to look to dive in and try and take out. So very easy for Skeeter to find these moments to get those items online in good time. unless Cloud9 brings some sort of heavy rotation, something that involves the Luna as well. But it looks like that's not going to be the way they want to try and do this. They want to just allow Watson to have the space and keep their half of the map, keep the area that the Luna's in completely protected.
Yeah, I was saying like with the first Eclipse, something like that, to try to find the Timber. But if now at this point he just has to go to jungle, get the Mask of Madness, get that farm, and yeah, it's going to be up to no one when he gets this vessel how much he can do. Can he start shutting down some of these tanky cores? He is very close to it. But Falcons already 2K lead. All 3 cores soon to be at the top. Just no one in between them there.
They really are, yeah, so tanky, all 3 of Falcons.
Vessel's done. It's got to be go time, and it feels like it's got to be constant coming out here from no one. He's got Magnetize available. Top tower, it's dropping a bit too early for him to get up there to contest it.
They're going to have to let that one go. Skeeter with the pressure of the Dragon Form, successfully taking away these objectives. And Cloud9 not interested in looking to fight in that area right now. Let's get the grab onto Crit. Fishman's got the setup. Should be an easy one here to allow no one to start building up those charges on the vessel. See if this can be the beginning of the snowball effect that no one really needs to find on the Earth Spirit this game.
I mean, a kill's a kill at this point, right? So anything he can find is going to be nice, but does want to be able to find one of these earlier kills on one of these tanky cores before they get some type of mitigation or a way to remove this vessel. Power Rune will spawn bottom. Malrine. Tommy is going to be able to take that one away.
Not quite yet having the 6s on the supports. That's probably the next sort of timing that Cloud9 are looking towards there. Now, relatively close, both halfway through the 5. Once they have those ults online, at least one of them can look to pair up with no one on these rotations.
This is very nice, too. DM needed some type of accelerant for himself. His lane went pretty well. Of course, yes, he did die twice, but all things considered, it wasn't absolutely horrendous. So now is able to back up, finish off a little bit here, and they are smoking. Is the 6 hit on the clock? Not quite yet, but Katomi has gotten it. It's going to be up to no one to get that initiation.
See if they can find Snake King. Not going to get the clean opening onto him, and even if they do, it's not the most appealing target. TP start to come in. Falcons, they're ready to respond.
Instant jump.
They do indeed take down Fishman. No struggle whatsoever. I mean, Cloud9, they're just not able to find the angle to really get in and catch Falcons by surprise.
Skeeter's looking for an angle to potentially jump. Malrine is starting to push forward here.
And Katomi does have the 6 himself, so they do have the curse to help turn things around if Falcons start to collapse in onto anyone.
Watson's getting some space. This is pretty nice. The attention's been drawn toward another lane, so is able to get that safe farm here. And they don't end up losing DM. They'll lose a little bit of their triangle here, but we'll be able to evade the gank.
Taking the tier 1s out of the side lanes, they can look towards the mid now, Falcons as well.
Could be an interesting thing that Cloud9 can actually do is what I've been seeing in a lot of these times. Falcons TPs with a lot of heroes, so there's definitely situations where I could see Cloud9 like force a move and then immediately back away when they see the TPs to start getting some potential map advantage. Not the easiest thing to do because they have that far catch with the DK, but...
DM showing in the mid.
That's too aggressive.
Certainly is. I don't know what else he really expected there, and yeah, Malrine continues to rub it in with the old chap.
Oy, oy, oy. This last big Timber at the top. No answers just yet.
See them trying to start some action in return. I mean, no one takes his chances there to see if he can get a grab. Not going to be the case. We'll be able to at least push Falcons away from trying to take the mid-tier 1 at this moment.
Malrine is just absolutely massive. Skeeter as well. No pressure's really been put onto this DK. They're farming across the board. Yes, Watson's farming, but it does feel like you're looking at Falcons and they feel much happier with their draft. Playing into this Earth Spirit that wants to get aggressive early on.
Yeah, they know how hungry Cloud9 is for action.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is his moments past. The efficiency, the numbers are certainly showing that Cloud9 not getting quite as much out of the map as Falcons.
And Malrine with this regen rune too can look to play wherever he wants. He can play aggressive and he probably won't die. He shows himself.
And the kisses are coming out. If he's able to get away from this in time, he's going to be able to roll away again. Malrine land the chakrams here on towards no one, but no shots there. Fishman holds him back. Skeeter caught under the tower. The curse is there as well from Katomi. Surely they could at least kill the Dragon Knight. They can. They'll bring Skeeter down, but Amar steps over the arena, spears through Katomi. They've got to look for more here, Cloud9. No one rolls in, gets the Magnetize out under the 2 of them. Amar up into the air here for now. Looks to step away, but he cannot break out from this fight. Double kill from Watson. Now towards Crit. They should be able to find a third. They will.
There we go.
Cloud9. They turn up in the numbers. They find the fight. They should be able to get some pressure onto the tower. Exactly what they needed. And Watson, he knows he has to be a part of these plays. He turns up 2-0-3, getting this early action now on the Luna.
And they kept no one alive. That was the important thing. Fishman's hook shot, actually so crucial in this one. Because if Malreen's able to stick on top of this Earth Spirit, the fight could get kind of weird. But they were able to kind of push this Timbersaw all the way to the far right of the fight and able to reset things and get that good positioning.
Yeah,
no one is very tanky.
Indeed, yeah. The vessel, the treads, and the wand, that's all you kind of need at this point to be able to walk away from the kisses coming in.
This. Fishman with the hook shot. It stops kind of this aggression and breaks that entire move that's coming out from Falcons. Beautiful play.
Falcons definitely underestimating the ability for Cloud9 to hold this sort of fight and find this sort of turnaround. He's back in action. They will get the spear connection onto DM. They catch him around the Ancient. So Falcons, after having a rough fight in the mid, they're not afraid of going straight back to the action. Fishman, he's out with a TP. I think they put a stop to it. So yeah, Falcons, they may have lost the fight mid, but they get back into the action. They kill off DM, and they do still claim that tier 1 tower mid first.
They're still able to play just that little bit faster, right? Cloud9 does feel like they're more cooldown reliant, especially if Watson wants to look to get involved. So Falcons looking to take advantage of that.
They're heading straight for him. He's going to go for a TP out. They got anywhere to stop it in time. He's done. He's away.
Ooh, and yeah, Mr has gone down the Yule's build, so pretty interesting. So just wanting to have that immediate catch for some of these heroes, and he is going to queue these auras. So interesting approach that he's going to go for. We've been seeing just most of those times just the BKB and Blink.
Fishman setting up another catch here for Cloud9. They'll find Snaking.
Good kill.
The support to this moment, Cloud9 are showing no struggle of being able to pick them off when they get caught out of position.
And that's almost DM's Bloodstone actually finished up, so yes, he's been slowed down a couple. I mean, he's died 4 times this game, but his farm is still not bad at all. He's going to have to play into the Mage Slayer. I believe it's about to be finished up on to Skitter. So there's always going to be that mitigation that comes out.
Cloud9, they're not too afraid of looking for these team fights now. They have the ultimates back online, grouping up down bottom to take the tier 1, and just be prepared if Falcons were to show up and try and take a fight. It's not going to be the case, though. Falcons remain split up.
It's like so much more fun to see this Luna in particular, right? She's constantly looking to get involved. The level 2 Eclipse is ready. The team fight that it can actually bring in is pretty massive until more auras and stuff get online. So Watson playing near the team, ready for a fight.
Yeah, he's had an excellent balance so far between the AFK farming and joining the team for these movements, these objectives, and these crucial fights that they needed to come in and make sure that Falcons don't get away with.
Katomi's getting pretty close to a Blink Dagger too, which, I mean, these little things are going to be pretty important for them to get these type of either initial catches in the fights or these resets. That's going to be a big thing for Wyvern. If he can get a reset, the Luna can come in, get this type of big fight. Could be pretty huge for them. Malreen does get an item that's probably going to make him not die for the next few moments. The Aghanims is finished up. But if they can kite and reset around that reactive armor, there still is a small potential, but not easy by any means to go for him now. But it never was going to be the case versus this last pick Timber.
I think Cloud9, with the way that those last few moments have gone, they're not too sad, but just sort of sitting back and calming things down as well. Just as long as their Luna's farming, as long as Watson's getting the space.
Yeah, and he just, so Snaking actually had warded the triangle over here, but it was dewarded just now from Watson. So making sure that he can get as much farm as possible. No one?
They're going to try for the hook shot in the mid. It's going to be the connection from Fishman straight onto Crit. No one's going to roll up with the follow damage. Crit not getting out of this one. Cloud9.
Nice catch from
catching Falcons off guard now. A few moments in a row.
This Clockwork is looking quite a bit better than the Bane, I would say, in the last game. You know, it's one of his 2 classic heroes, but he's 5-3 and 5. All of his connections have been pretty damn good for the team. Oh, and DM, of course, it happens. He gets the Bloodstone, and he gets the Vampire Fangs. So we'll see how much they can actually do to withstand versus this insane healing that comes out if he's able to get the connections.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough to go on him.
Yeah. They have Mage Slayer, like we said. They have some forms of damage mitigation, but this is like the timing. And we've seen it so many times in this tournament that the Sankings become pretty difficult to deal with.
Yeah, Falcons, quick TP move down to the bottom tier 2 so they can try and strike Cloud9 from an angle they won't expect. No one's already seen them, though. Just looking to protect the power in spawn, force back Cloud9, but as I say, Cloud9, they're not going to be too afraid of taking the fight when it presents itself, especially if they have the crucial information on who to jump, and both of Cloud9 supports ready with these reactive ultimates to try and break apart anything that Falcons throw in as a team.
As long as they don't lose somebody before the fights, they should have pretty good options to take those 5v5s.
He's safe, he's safe.
This time he does get away. And they're dodging nicely, and Watson is getting very, very far in comparison to Skitter. Skitter's being very involved, constantly looking for these plays with the Blink Dagger. Watson's getting involved, but he's a Luna, so he just naturally farms absurdly fast. Level 16 already up on him.
And no doubt about it, this game too, definitely going to be much more of a challenge for Falcons as opposed to the experience they had in game 1. Cloud9 getting everything together this time. It's falling into place much nicer than what they tried to do with the first match.
So much nicer to just Luna in comparison to Terrorblade just looks night and day difference, really.
Starting to make the move through Falcons jungle. Cloud9.
They're very close to BKB on no one as well too, which is going to protect him a lot versus that chain stun burst.
Who's going to make the jump first? They've got eyes on towards the mid.
See Katomi.
And it's going to be the jump for Skeeter first. Straight over towards the wipe, and they burst through Katomi before he can get off a single spell. This is over towards DM. See if they can chain this into anything else, Falcons. DM. It's got Burst Strike up in a second, and with the cogs down, it's hard to reach over and grab him. They'll turn for Fishman instead, as Maureen comes in with a Chakram slow. A second kill to be found. Maureen once more, but they're going to turn straight away with the burst. They bait him in. They turn around and kill him off. They take down Maureen.
He's not able to get that reactive armor off. The instant stun comes out. Beautifully done.
Quick moves, and of course a high value kill there going into the hands of Watson, who gets the last touch onto him.
DM, nicely done. Plays it careful, pulls the creep wave up. Okay, so a little bit of a mistake there, of course, from Katomi. I was surprised that he showed himself just standing in the wave like that when he initially gets caught, but then afterwards, Maureen overextends forward, and yeah, like you said, Watson, a huge kill.
That's a massive kill. Yeah, 3-0-4. It's propelled him pretty much halfway through the gold towards the BKB.
Yeah, over 600 gold he got for it, so pretty massive.
And Watson definitely in a solid position to be able to carry this game. Falcons, they've got to deal with the Luna somehow.
Skitter gonna focus maybe a little bit more on getting that farm going so that he can try to match his... A little low, they'll be alright.
And Falcons, what do you think the move's going to be now from them? Is it just to try and look for these pickoffs?
I think so, just look for fights. Yeah, absolutely. They've got the pipe and the mage there now, so they do have heavy damage mitigation versus the Sand King.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to... Oh, with the Burst Strike and the Bloodstone Hill, is it enough to keep him alive? No. Free fire nuke from Skeeter finishes off the job before things start to get messy.
Hey, that's Mage Slayer plus pipe, so even though he's got Bloodstone, even if he gets it off, he's going to die because he's not doing too much damage.
Skeeter, he's trying to see if he can get the catch on a Fishman. Fishman got the jetpack, trying to make it up the base. Dragon Tail will connect. Maureen in with the Chakram damage. They've got the Cold Embrace. Burst is enough to go straight through it and take him down.
He gets the reactive off, so he knows he can dive deep there.
Creeps pressuring in on the top as well. Falcons look to try for finishing off the tier 2.
DM has to be more careful with his positioning a lot now. It's 5 deaths for him. Yes, he's tanky. Yes, he's got his Bloodstone, but they've got the ways now to address it. He has to be more careful when his team is not near him. Smoke is up.
They want to fight this Cloud9. No one looking to start things with a blink out. It's quick. They'll be able to keep their tier 2 up. Force Falcons back. The remainder of the smoke, they could look to just try and turn this move into something else.
Watson has a huge power spike. BKB plus level 18. He really wants to get involved. He wants to force an issue here to potentially get a fight into a Roche right afterwards. Can they catch anyone here?
Well, they hit the scan. They know someone was up there, but Amar already backing off.
It's 20 seconds until that arena's back up. Cloud9 trying to capitalize. Can't quite find anything. Have to go back to address their lanes a little bit here. No one is still smoked up for a moment, but just going to look to play around Watson.
Now Maureen wants the BKB online before the next fight.
Makes sense. Tons of magical bursts. Could definitely see multiple of these being picked up soon. But the auras, they're definitely there. They're starting to get there, at least on one side. Cloud9 not seeing any of these auras being built up yet, except for DM, who's... How close is he? Actually, he's about to have that pipe. Okay, so... Definitely going to see these big fights kick off with crazy damage mitigation. If DM's able to survive in these fights, could be very impactful.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Sort of between the pipe active and passive, the aura, and then obviously the Cold Embrace, there's good chances for saves to come out from Cloud9, keeping one another alive, even if Falcons do really focus their burst on a target.
They just have to be very good with this positioning. I've seen now a couple times Katomi slightly out of position. Same thing for DM, so Just got to make sure that they have that blanket to protect Watson. And now making another clever move here. Daytime, they can go for this Roche. They see Heroes top.
With Watson as large as he is, should be a pretty quick Roshan. Falcons, looks like they may just settle for taking the 2 tier 2s, get that top one, maybe even pushing on towards the mid. As I imagine they're going to expect that this Roshan is occurring, but not making any movements towards it. So this Roche should freely fall into the hands of Cloud9.
Feels like one of the closer games that we've had so far on this main stage, especially in this mid game. Sometimes we've had toward the later stages, but this one's kicking off beautifully. Watson, absolutely enormous. Skeeter is starting to catch back up there, of course, but yeah, still a bit of a deficit for him in that Luna. The team fight execution, it's going to have to be massive. We saw Falcons last game have some pretty crazy kind of kiting around when Cloud9 hit a timing. See how it's going to go down this next one. Both teams gathered up.
Well, Falcons not afraid to fight into the Aegis. They've got eyes on towards Watson. If they want to head over, they're going to maybe look for no one instead. They'll get the opening Dragon Cell stun. He's not going to get the chance to get anything off. He was considering looking to turn up and help out. And of course, he feels strong with the BKB and Aegis. Does have the rest of the team relatively close, but they won't. And they don't need to force it, right? They've still got 4 minutes to play with Sages. No need to try and find a fight whilst no one's out of the game.
They need the numbers. They always need to have this. Like, they can't fight 4v5 pretty much in any means unless it's some crazy high ground advantage that Watson has possession of. And this is a high ground advantage, but they are under vision at the moment. This could be dangerous right now for Cloud9. They see it coming. They have that ward in mid lane, so they do see Skeeter stepping over.
Just keeping their distance, Cloud9.
Watson's turning up. The respawn is coming. Earth Spirit's coming back very soon.
They've got to get some sort of big connection with either the hook shot or the curse to try and start the action off. Falcons not letting them have it. They split back up as soon as no one's back in the game.
Just these macro plays, reading the map, not wanting to force an issue into a 5v5 that could be dangerous versus this Aegis. They just still want to play around those pickoffs and wait until that Aegis goes down before a full fight.
Right, it's really going to be on Cloud9 to charge at them, get aggressive, force some sort of action to occur, but between these 3 minutes of the Aegis.
Might just go for perhaps maybe hitting a tower or something here. It's always dangerous though versus Falcons. Gonna set up top. They did see Amar for a second here. Amar backpacking the pipe so that he doesn't show the aura in the wave. Even though he's not next to it, can he get out?
They're gonna see him just the moment he's out. Amar making the call just in time.
They're playing the map beautifully on Falcons. The advantage that Cloud9 has with this Aegis, we're just seeing the gold lead actually increase for Falcons because they're just dodging the movements that are coming out.
Yeah, it feels like it's definitely going to take Cloud9 to just be a bit more heavy-handed with the pushing up towards the towers.
It's just scary.
If they want to get involved in some action. Because, yeah, Falcons, they're not letting them get it anywhere else.
No, it's just scary sometimes going for like a tier 2 or something versus this much team fight.
Blink Dagger now as well on Amar. He's going to be ready with the setup, ready to throw that extra sort of threat in towards the backlines, towards the supports of Cloud9.
They have a blink. I mean, DM is going BKB. Okay, so they're going to have to pretty much completely rely on no one in a lot of these situations to just start the fight. Fishman can hook shot, but it's kind of suicide.
DM, they're watching him in the river. He was walking down the river. Amar's going to get the opening. He's able to break out with the Burrow Strike, though. DM, of course, incredibly tanky between the pipe and the Bloodstone, so gets away with that.
That is the art the Arena used. So Cloud9 could look to try to punish this, at least pressure a tower here off of that. They still have, what, about 100 seconds on this Aegis.
It should be clean enough to get the tier 2 without the threat of the Arena.
Falcons, I wouldn't imagine they look for this fight.
I might look for Fishman in the mid. Looking for the setup. I'll get the spear back as he's caught up in the air during the jetpack. We'll find Fishman, but tier 2 down bottom. Should slowly but surely fall here to the push of Watson. Getting very close to making it towards his next start in the full counter.
Look at this, they're setting up for the fight potentially. No one is TPing back. They don't have the clock for 30 seconds. Aegis still about 60.
Nice, Watson going to come back as well. He doesn't have a TP right now, Watson.
That is very true.
That's true. In one of those situations, the carry's not got a TP. So Watson's going to have to make the long walk across the map.
Should have time to. Amp damage spawns up top. No one. He wants to claim that.
Oh, he really does. He's not going to be able to, though. Skeeter gets the pick up first. Look at the power strike connection in on the walls. Crit, they'll try and separate them from him, but Crit's gone.
Skeeter, no one's trying to chase him.
And be able to turn in with the Yule's control. Cloud9 using the curse just to try and momentarily hold back Snaking. DM, he's revving up the epicenter just to blow up the Enchantress. It's a couple of support kills here for Cloud9. The cause of Falcons will manage to escape.
It's a lot committed. I did not expect him to actually blow the epicenter there for that Enchantress. So 100 seconds, they won't have that. Watson is going to capitalize that the supports are dead, though. Has a full Conda, has the Vindicators actually the push. Top, no one.
And the Yule setup's not going to be quite there, Marv. Still be able to find the spear follow there from Skeeter's initiation. They kill no one anyway.
Keep catching them when they split off. Every time that they split up on the side of Cloud9, Falcons is able to capitalize and get these type of jump kills. Got to be careful when they split.
They're very, very quick with these moves. Each and every step that Cloud9's trying to make against Falcons, Falcons just staying that slight step ahead.
It's like one step, and then the next team gets like a 1.2 steps. It's very back and forth. But yeah, Falcons are just playing around those timings and keep getting these big core kills during a big burst that Watson had with the Aegis. We're able to get, what, 2 tier 2s out of it? And a decent amount for him. He is level 20, so he does have a pretty big surge as well.
Yeah, Skeeter pretty much with the full BKB ready for the next fight that Falcons can look for, so he can really get stuck in.
He does need it. You saw in that last fight when no one was starting to stick on him, it was a little bit dangerous for a second there. So now he will have that. Malvarine also does get this 20 talent, 20% magic resist. Quite a bit stronger.
Yeah, both mids, I think, closing in towards the full Shiva's guard. Falcons, they're going to be the ones to look for the play first. The smoke up comes.
This will be that big clash. Who's going to get into the back lines? Can they burst heroes before these BKBs come off?
No one. Maybe the first one to be spotted. See how quick the reaction is. The scans hit. They know exactly where Cloud9 are. Cloud9's own scan, I believe, didn't quite catch on to the smoke movement of Falcons. So no one is not going to expect it. There's the jump forward. The curse will come out, but it doesn't matter. No one immediately killed off. And now Amai's ready for more. Yule setups there. Arena's down. Katsuomi. He'll try and freeze himself to survive, but there's no getting out of this one. Immediate moves there from Falcons. The Cloud9, they just weren't quite ready for us. I think the scan, it was so close to connecting, but it did not hit, so they did not anticipate Falcons to strike from that angle.
I mean, they're trying to bait no one, but the cold embrace and the curse overall, if they get these BKBs off, the damage is just too explosive. And now to the high ground, these two kills are pretty massive.
Absolutely, straight away to the tier 3s. Watson, he's getting caught with the Dragon Tail. He tries to turn up for the defense. He gets the BKB up, but he's already put down to about half HP. We'll look to turn now with the Eclipse. The Skeeter puts the BKB in and gets forced down to the low ground.
That's his BKB.
Oh, that was risky there. I mean, Watson will get to live to tell the tale. Falcons, they're still pushing on and finding kills, killing off Fishman. The push still comes in.
And it's just, they're gonna back away right now. They're a little bit scared because that respawn from no one.
Yeah, they know no one himself. He's still got his BKB ready to pop.
And they don't feel like they need to risk anything. They got what they came for, at least a little bit. A couple kills here, force a BKB reaction from the Luna. Reset, cooldown on BKB is going to be about 60 seconds on Watson.
Scary moments there, though. Now, they've got to be so prepared. We've seen how quick every single time Skeeter is when he plays the Dragon Knight. He sees a chance to just throw himself in and get in with that instant Dragon Tail. He'll go for it.
They have to be just like prepared with, I mean, honestly, both of the supports have to be there, ready to just give their lives for any of these cores that get jumped immediately on the side of Cloud9.
And that's obviously where Katsuomi trying to get that BKB online for himself, so he can have that safe way to play his hand without any interruption. Watson is going to, we saw there obviously, even if they did get the jump on him, he's pretty tanky, and once he's able to start work on his Satanic, it's definitely likely that unless all 5 of Falcons are really going at him, he'll probably survive through the stun.
He should be able to, yes. And DM overall now will have a blink very soon too, so I want to see him also be able to play a little more aggressive, because it's been a bit passive from him. He's just been able to sit back and farm, which is fine, but he's gotten caught a few times because of it. They need ways to be able to enable Watson a little bit better so that he can actually stand his ground with his Satanic and stuff. BKB also now finished up on Snake, and he is transitioning. Starting to become that, kind of that 4th core in a way. Similar to what Falcons likes to do a lot of times.
Yeah, you can never underestimate the damage that can come out from the Enchantress as these moments pass. There's so many things that Cloud9 have to consider when they look for their way into the fight. I guess the good news is for them that they do have multiple jumps themselves, right? The blink on DM, the hook shot.
Now they do, yeah.
And now, obviously, no one. He's going to be the first probably to go in each and every time on his Earth Spirit.
I kind of want to see one of the supports on Cloud9 maybe get like a force staff or something just to be able to reposition, because if they're able to just get these type of chain stuns and just instant burst somebody, it's a big problem. So if they can at least just stop that for a quick second or something there, it could be huge. Because I see even Malrine, I believe he just picked up a blink too. So Falcons is looking to just detonate a hero immediately on the first stun.
Yeah, this could be quite the explosive fight. Falcons, 5-man smoke heading straight towards Cloud9, but Cloud9, they're through the twin gate.
Roche is going to start respawning soon. 40 seconds. They're both looking to prepare for it.
Yeah, Falcons can set things up down here. I guess when it spawns, it's going to be close to moving to the other side of the map. Yep. So just really a case of who sets up on which corner.
Ooh.
Coming back through here, Cloud9. At least Fishman starting to tentatively lead the way.
Trying to catch the back line is pretty important. Fishman has a ward available.
Watson from the tree line. I mean, Skeeter. Maori's going to hunt things out in the trees. He's going to find Watson, try and force some sort of reaction from him. Watson trying to stand his ground, but takes a heavy amount of burst hit from the chakram. Now there's the jump as well. The Dragon's out. Watson needs help. He needs it now. The curse comes out, but Maori pots the BKB. So he's able to continue to lay down the damage onto Watson, take out the Luna. Now turn towards Kataomi. Amar gets caught by the silence, but they're running towards DM. DM has to put the BKB himself. Maori's killing off the backline, stays on top of Kataomi, finishes off the Wyvern, and now he's ready to swing back over and help the rest of the team chase down more. DM has to run.
He's 70 seconds without Watson. They can look to either go for the Roche or pressure here. Falcons just too good at executing these fights. I mean, Mallory just continues.
He's feeling very, very confident with the amount that he's typing. Amar, he'll get the catch on towards DM. They're bringing in the damage. DM caught by the Dragon Tail. He's out as well. 3 dead. And the two of them, as you point out, they don't have buyback. No buyback on Watson or DM. They're short on the gold.
Oh, and they're just decimating them and dancing on them in these fights. It's similar like last time. It really is. They know exactly how to approach these fights. Marine just jumps in, gives the information with the Shivas, and just forces so many problems. Cloud9 don't want to make the first move, and they're getting punished because of it.
This is going to be a heavy push coming in from Falcons. They're going to be able to take quite a lot here from Cloud9.
There's just no way to protect Watson, it feels like.
There's mid-Brax, it's gone for sure. We'll see how much more they can take whilst Watson and DM are down.
Falcons they're too good at coordinating these fights. Cloud9, it feels like they have to start doing something a bit chaotic to not allow Falcons to just cast all their spells freely. They have to just try to start fights in more of a chaotic manner to let Watson actually play his hero. Because he just died, 100-0.
I could not quite save him.
And it's never really going to be the case with the Cold Embrace or with that Curse versus these heroes. If they get the BKB up first, they're going to be able to just pierce through it. And now Roche, it's up.
I think Cloud9, they've got to try and tackle this. They can't sit back and let this go to Falcons. They need to look for the fight at the Roche pit.
Look at Mars item build. Something I don't think you'll see too often from any other Mars player, but very interesting stuff going on here. Crazy catch range that he can use on his Yules. Everything's increased AoE. This is an interesting approach.
Let's see if it pays off. So far, so good. They're sitting at a 16k lead, and they're on the verge of taking this Roche. Unless Cloud9 can do something crazy.
He can play so far back and jump the back line.
No one's going to try scouting things out. Rolls in immediately, but Maureen, he's ready to respond. Gets to jump over towards Fishman. Fishman drops the cogs down, but Fishman, he's going down for sure. See if Falcons can look to chase out more. The Sun's there, but no one quick with the BKB. He's going to roll in aggressively, looks to start the fight back. DM's in with the control on towards Maori, but Maori pops the BKB. Watson hasn't got enough damage at this stage to take the Timbersaw down. The arena's there. The spirit of the two of them, Amar, able to catch both as they burn through DM. Watson's BKB soon to come to an end. He's got to start backing away here with no one. Skeeter turns with the Dragon Tail. The curse is out, but Skeeter puts the BKB before, so he can continue to beat into no one. Turn towards Kataomi in the tree line. The Cold Embrace ain't going to save him as Kataomi's out as well. Only Watson getting out alive, and Fishman, it's a dieback from him.
Oh, and they're just too damn good at executing these fights. Cloud9 tries to cause this type of panic. They tried to do the chaos. Again, Falcons, they just danced on it. Amar patiently waiting in the sidelines till those BKBs go down. He gets the 2 crucial targets. Watson's able to reset, but the damage is done. 4 heroes gone.
And they just don't have the buybacks yet. DM still short on the money. Same to be said for Watson. Even if he goes in and tries to stop them, he's only going to have one chance of slowing down this push from Falcons. Cloud9, are they even going to get a chance to come in with one final fight? here in their attempt to hold on in the International. The top racks are gone. Amara Malrine working on the bottom set.
Might be one last try in 15 seconds, but it might just be a Megas already afterwards.
With the fortification that they're going to have one more fight in this Cloud9. It has to be better than anything we've ever seen from them so far this series.
Malrine just pops the BKB. Won't be able to finish up the Mega Creeps. Respawns are coming out, no one.
Oh, Watson? He's got to be careful if Falcons are backing off.
Can they stop the TP?
It's going to be tempting. Malrine, he's already out. They weren't able to reach in and punish the TP outright underneath their noses. Get away, Spear as well, stopping no one from getting a catch onto Amar. They just cannot punish Falcons. As Falcons, they'll safely retreat. I mean, Falcons, they didn't finish off the bottom set of racks, though, so Mega Creeps aren't up quite yet against Cloud9.
When was the last time that Cloud9 got a core kill? It's been 18 minutes since they've been able to find any of the core heroes on the side of Falcons. It's just supports. Every single one of these fights, they just tank the spells, and then the cores are just able to reign supreme. And it's just over and over again that they're able to get these resets as well, too. A telescope now for Amar, finished getting up these tier 4 neutrals and Roche. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it in time.
I think this time around they've just got to let it go. Can they really make it to Roche in time? Or do they have to just settle for the high ground?
They're going to be able to scout it at least constantly with
That's
these rockets.
true. They might be tempted. But Amar and Malrine, they're ready with the counterplay, hiding in this tree line.
Can Fishman go for some type of steal play? Falcons is
It might be worth trying for it. But I'm saying that, though, he, of course, his buyback's on cooldown, so would be him out for good if he does go for that sort of play. I mean, DM and Fishman are tempted.
There, he just put 2 backpack bracers. Okay, put him back in. Falcons is...
They're slowing Falcons down a little bit. They keep backing out of the pit in anticipation of the fight. They're quickly to collapse back in and take the Aegis, take Roshan down. Falcons in prime position now to go for that killing blow.
Snaky has a moon shard as well, too. I mean, the damage that's coming out from everybody on this lineup is absurd. Just who do you go for it at this point, really, on Cloud9? Like, you need to just try to find this back line, but the front line is the issue, too. Oh, the bottle drop.
Amplified damage set up here for Watson.
This could be crucial. They need all the damage
they
do. It feels like.
This gives them a little bit of a hope.
Small. Very small. See if they can execute it on the high ground here. Falcons, they seem to be ready to go in.
They do.
Level 25 on Malrine.
Snake King trying to get some information first.
Oop, little awkward there.
They're going to back off. No trusting. Catch on the Snakey, but Mari's in straight around towards Fishman. No one's going to look to back Fishman up. Rolls forward with the BKB. They get the burrow strike, connects on towards Amar, but Fishman's gone. Watson moves in with Eclipse, but they get the jump on him with the Dragon Tail. He's caught, and Watson stands his ground, or at least attempts to do so against the DK, and he's conceding. Skinner's getting brought down, like they're taking him down once. Can they do it again? He's still got the BKB ready to go over towards the arena. They managed to kill Amar. Immediate buyback comes out for no one as Cloud9 know with Amar gone. Maybe this is their chance to take a fight and to hold on in this game. Watson pushing forward. Can they find more in the tree line? Blast will catch over towards the trees, but Skeeter, he's in onto Kataomi. The curse is there, but the damage with the impetus of bringing Kataomi down low. Get the cold embrace off. Kataomi tries to scramble back over to his teammates, but he'll get left behind. Kataomi out for 50. Buybacks available.
Skeeter. Looks like he wants to try to continue chasing Watson.
Oh, they found him! Skeeter's in with the Dragon Tail. Watson's not going to be getting back to the base right now. The buybacks are coming out. They're trying to save him, but Watson's gone. Out for 90. No one. He's got them coming in with a burrow trap, and they just don't have the damage to kill Falcons off as Malrine survives. No one at the Emma gone. GG is called. Falcons take the series 2-0, and it's the end of the line here for Cloud9.
They're just too good at team fighting. Even that one where it looks like Cloud9 at the disadvantage maybe can get some of these kills. It doesn't matter. The fight takes too long. They're able to reset constantly. This team's unbelievable right now, especially when they're getting given